Hey everyone, my name is Danilo Petrovic.
I'm Ilya Marchenko.
I'm Denis Kudla.
I'm Evgeny Donskoy.
I'm Henry Laaksonen.
I'm Peter Torebko, and you're listening to the Game to Love podcast.
Welcome back, tennis fans. Here we are, a little bit of an impromptu podcast. It's just myself, but I do have a little bit of a special guest for you guys as well. This one's just going out on the premiere pre-record. We don't do many of these anymore, so I thought I'd do this one for you as JG is not with us today. But don't you worry about it. You've got me, and surely that's good enough. I just wanted to update you guys. I've had the vaccine today, so that's always a positive outlook on things. So hopefully life will be getting a little bit back to normal. I'd say scary thing which happened during my vaccine, though, which was a little bit concerning. I was sat there waiting for to be the next person on my station. The guy in front of me, I was getting the Pfizer vaccine, just in case anyone's wondering. The guy in front of me, he had some bad side effects to it. He actually collapsed before I was due to go and get my one after him. And they had to pull some screens over, had to get the defibrillators out and get him going again. Pretty scary stuff, needless to say. I wasn't too keen on getting my vaccine after that, but I did still go and get it done. Luckily, afterwards, there was no side effects and I was able to drive back home. Here we are. Obviously, there has been some tennis today. We have Cam Norrie. His one has been rain delayed, postponed until tomorrow. That one is against Anders Rinderknech, and that is a quarter-final matchup. It's 1-1 at the moment. Cam Norrie, well, he started well. He might be happy with the break. Rinderknech was coming back into it. The winner of that match will play Karen Khachanov. And the other semi-final, a massive matchup. That is going to be Stefanos Tsitsipas versus Lorenzo Musetti. So that's going to be a real hot semi-final. Make sure you guys tune in for that one. I will try and cover that one live tomorrow. Well, there's been so many new faces and new people in the Discord, in the live chat. I think now's a good time to announce that we have launched our own Patreon. If you want to support GTL and sign up to our Patreon, we'll be really appreciative. And there are some different levels in there for you to sign up with. We've got Challenger level, Master level, we've got Grand Slam level, and we've got GOAT level. And each of them have different individual perks. So make sure you go on the link in the description, check that out. If you are listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, then just go to patreon.com/game to love. It's an exciting time for GTL. But without further ado, I think we better kick off the interview with Stephen from the Slice Tennis. So welcome to once again. It's been a long time. The Game to Love podcast welcomes back Steve from the Slice Tennis. Welcome back, buddy. How are you doing?
Ben, it's good to be here. I'm doing really well. I'm excited for the French Open coming up.
Yes, mate. And yes.
Yeah, we might see history. We might see Rafael Nadal break the record for most Grand Slams, which would be pretty crazy. Indeed,
mate. I think this is the first time I've spoken to you when I haven't had a beer in my hand as well.
Yeah, same.
Because I had the vaccine today, I've been being a bit wary of it. So
yeah, fair.
Indeed, yeah. But one of the reasons I brought you on today, talk about one guy in question, the sort of the topic of this podcast, which is Dominic Thiem's bad form on clay. And it continues. A bit of a bizarre 2021 for him this year. What have you made of it so far?
Yeah, it's hard to know. It's hard to like put a finger on it because to me, it's like he's come back and he's kind of expressed that he lost a bit of motivation after winning the U.S. Open, and that's honestly fair enough. I can understand that. And then I guess he came back in Madrid was his first tournament. or
Yeah, I believe
Barcelona maybe. But yeah, he just hasn't looked like his best peak form. But you can almost kind of forget what it is like because most of now his big successes have come on hard court. So it's one thing I saw today was right before the U.S. Open, he lost in the first round to Phil Kranovic, I think, at Cincinnati, and then won the U.S. Open, right? And people are speculating if he just like threw the match versus Norrie because he didn't want to, he wanted to rest. But I don't really buy that because I don't think competitors, athletes like that, actually, that wouldn't be a good tactic, right? Like he's gonna have a week off anyways between then and the French because it got pushed back.
Yep.
So I don't know. It's kind of like the Djokovic and Nadal thing. Like, yeah, they lost. Like Djokovic hasn't won a tournament on clay. He might win Belgrade, but that's like basically a challenger event. Like but he's still going to show up to French Open. I'm going to back him in any single match except for against Nadal, right? Like, it's just the 5-set thing. I'm going to back Dominic Thiem against anyone because he's a monster. But it is concerning to see a little bit. I think he's just trying to get his level back. Like, he'll be up in a match and he'll finally start winning, and then he'll start to get more frustrated almost with himself. He's kind of like, man, why hasn't this been there all along? Like, what am I doing? And then
he looks
he'll
visibly
lose.
frustrated, doesn't he? All the time on court, you see this like, and he's just like looking like everything's wrong. Even when he plays a good shot, he still looks. He's like moping around the court, pulling these weird faces. It's not the same Dominic Thiem that we're used to seeing with. The backhand's not there really at the moment. It's a bit of a worry.
Yeah. I think it's just time on court. I think if you can get through the first few rounds of the French Open without a problem, I think we'll see Dominic Thiem of old, and maybe he'll have more gas in the tank than a guy like Rafa who's played more tennis in those last few weeks. And I don't know, but right now, like, would you put him as a favorite ahead of Tsitsipas or Zverev? No, yeah, probably. It's hard to.
I wouldn't even put him above Cam Norrie right now because Cam Norrie is on a stormer on clay this year. He's only lost, I think, 3 matches: Ramos, Nadal, and Fokina.
Yeah, he's playing super well.
What's happened to Cam Norrie? He's suddenly turned to a clay quarter.
I know, it's like not the guy that I would even think that would be good on clay with his pretty flat backhand. But to be honest, he's got a pretty nice forehand and he's got a good whip action on it. So it kind of makes sense that that's good. And it can stay down in the court. But yeah, who knows? Some guys are just showing out, like Dan Evans, even like it's a British takeover on clay. Like he takes out Djokovic in an amazing style. Like Djokovic wasn't even playing that bad in that match.
Wow,
he straight up beat him. He wasn't his best.
I know that you're a bigger Dan Evans fan than what we are, I think, mate. This is the thing. So. But I think Djokovic had about 45 unforced errors in that match. So
that's true. So it was pretty trash from Djokovic. I guess my point is I've seen Djokovic win a lot of matches where he's played bad like that, and Evans could have easily lost it, but he stepped up and won it.
Definitely. I think the last 2 matches are the sort of key ones for Dominic Thiem. Obviously, Zverev won in Madrid, so you'd think, well, Zverev's pretty unplayable at times on that Madrid surface. But then he struggled past Martin Fucsovics. Remember, he lost the first set, and then I think Martin just fell apart in the last set, got bageled.
Yeah.
And then Sonego pretty much pieced him up, I think, and took him deep, and that was not where Dominic Thiem wanted to be. It was one of those ones which was he would normally close it out, but then Sonego had the whole crowd on his side, and even when the crowd left, you thought, "Oh, Dominic Thiem will take over." No,
yeah. Well, Thiem won that one in a tiebreaker in the 3rd set, and Thiem had I think he was up 5-4 in the tiebreaker or something. Like he was, and then or 5-3 or something, and then I think Sonego just went on a run and won 4 points straight and just ended it off. It's kind of crazy to not watch. You always think the better players are gonna find a way to just get it done, but you saw that with Federer even in Geneva. He was up 4-2, I guess 4-3 really, and then it was just over all of a sudden. It was just it
was bizarre. I liked your post on Instagram where you said that Andahar is he just 6-4s against Swiss opposition. I didn't even realize. Yeah, it was crazy. That Stricker, he was looking pretty good, but
yeah, he's young. I think he's only 17. He's going to be good.
Yeah, very good. A lot of power in his forehand. So
yeah,
I'm surprised because he's only really looked good from when I've been saw him about 6 months ago, and he was looking really good on indoor hard court on the Challenger Tour.
Yeah,
wasn't sure if he'd be able to transfer it over to the clay. It looks really good actually on the clay.
Yeah.
So maybe that's his surface.
Maybe. I don't know. I think a lot of these players, especially the Europeans, are pretty good on the clay because they guess, I don't know, you're over in Europe, but I think there's a lot of clay there.
Yes, none in England.
Yeah, not there as much, I think. But like Federer like says he grew up on the clay, right? From being from Switzerland. So look,
yeah.
It was also funny how small that court was in Geneva. Like Federer playing on the center court, and there's maximum like 100 people there. Like that is crazy. Like you never see that small of an arena for him, especially.
I know it was an interesting spectacle, wasn't it? Because there was very little applause, and anytime Andahar won a point, there was no applause, which was very, very strange to see. They didn't want to give him even a chance.
No.
What did you make of Rogers' performance in that match?
Yeah, it looked like probably less rusty than in Doha, especially at the beginning. Like when he beat Dan Evans, it looked like he was just shanking so many balls, and like that's what you expect from Federer when he's coming back, right? Because he plays with such aggression and fine margins for it. He's not like spinning balls into the court. So he looked bad in the first set. I think he only had like 38% first serves in the whole first set. So basically just feeding it in there. But then he looked good in the second set, and the third set he went up a break, and I was like, yeah, this is good. He's going to win this match. But it's like you forget that there's no freebies on the ATP tour. Like Andujar, you like look past them, but great clay court player, top 100.
Great. Yep.
And so he just got Federer on those last two games got a little tight, I think, and Andujar just ripped some returns and got a couple shanks, and then it was over. Like it was just like I think we forget how, because the big three guys just win so so often, and we think it's easy for them to just get over the line, but it's like that's why the records and the streaks that they've been on are so crazy, because it's actually not easy to win ever. Like no one's just letting them win, but it almost looks like they are sometimes because it's so dominant, right? But Federer obviously coming back is super vulnerable, and he talked about how he didn't feel good out there, and obviously you can tell, being a longtime Federer watcher, you can tell he's not moving good. I mean, he's 40, so I don't expect him to move good. But like when he's hitting open stance backhands, he's not playing good. Like he's just he's practicing basically. Like he's just not playing. I mean, unless he's like super defensive. But when it's just too fast for him, and he's just not getting his feet there, he just hits it with the open stance, and then he can still win matches like that. But it's just like that's not where he's at his full level. Like when you think back to 2017, he was he looked so good moving, and he was like coming over the backhand and doing damage. And but you realize that's 4 years ago, so that's like a long time ago.
Exactly right.
So
he's had 2 knee surgeries very recently, and it's got to be tough to come back from that if you're under 30. If you're now nearing 40, it must be near on impossible. But do you reckon he can get back to, say, well, I know he's in the top 10 right now. It's going to be tough to hang in there, I think, this year. Do you think he's going to be able to?
Yeah, I don't know. As I said, like he has to just play. Like I would have loved to see him to pop into like Parma, like the Italy 250, just play a few matches there. I put $50 on Federer winning the Geneva Open, just because I just believe any of those guys can just step in there and win matches. But like that's what he needs, is to have actual reps. Like he's kind of explaining that practicing is not this, doing even practice sets against these top players. That's good, but it's not the same as a match. And so I don't understand what would be the downside of playing Parma. I don't think he will, or Belgrade. I can't see him doing that, because I don't think he loves the Djokovic family, and they're running that tournament basically. So he's gonna rock up to the French Open, and like, he could lose first round, he could make it through a few matches. But if he's preparing for Wimbledon like he says he is, I can't see playing 3 or 4 matches at Parma and then a few at the French Open as a bad thing. It's just like you're not going to wear yourself out.
Maybe we get him in the UTS.
Maybe
that
would be crazy.
I'd like to see him in that.
I don't know if. Well, I mean, I know Muratoglu comes from a billionaire family, so they got the money for the entrance fee. But I don't know.
I know
that'd be a big package.
It would. I'd be interesting to find out what his nickname would be as well.
Yeah.
What would the maestro or something?
Hopefully just the goat. Hopefully just the goat. That's what it should say.
That's what you. I know you would love that. I know there would in the sliced version of UTS, we know what name he would have. That's for sure.
100%.
Well, yeah, I think he's been very good with his the way that he's come across after the loss. I mean, he's a scholar of words, isn't he? And he doesn't build himself up. He's just been very honest and just said, "Look, I'm not expecting to win really in that for the first match back on clay. It would have been nice, but I'm just going to have to try my best. I'm not even focused on the French Open." He's being honest about that. He doesn't think he's going to do well in that. So at least he's honest about it, which some other players, at least it doesn't allow the media to jump on top of him. I think he's trying to counter it.
Yeah, like he's always, I think he's always been pretty honest, and like when he's playing well, he just kind of says like the facts, and he'll downplay when he's playing well, but he doesn't seem to downplay it when he's playing bad. And he said he just knew his limitations out there. And I think if you're a pro tennis player of that caliber, it's like if you aren't sure about what's going to happen when you're hitting a ball, it's like you just don't feel like you can win a tennis match at that level. So you know, he almost won it. He probably should have won that match, and he can get there with the level of skill that he has, same as like Nadal or Djokovic. On an off day, they're still probably the favorite, but you know, it leaves you open. And it'll be interesting. I just wish he would play more. Like I want to see him play. It's like if you're a tennis fan, I can't imagine you not wanting to watch him play more. So it's I guess we'll have to wait till the French Open probably, or he might do a surprise entry into Parma, but that's not really his style. So I don't know. We'll see.
Well, I was sort of getting the blame for him going out of the tournament from a lot of the people in the live chat while the match was going on, because it was 4-2 up, and I said, "Well, this match is done and dusted." I know. I did the unthinkable and jinxed him into losing the next 4 games. Unfortunately,
well he was 4-2 up, but then at 4-2, Andujar's serving, right? So he holds serve, and that's 4-3, and that's actually a pretty close match.
But I said it. I shouldn't have said it. I shouldn't have said this game's done and dusted.
All good, man.
I know.
All good.
I feel bad for him. I feel like I should send him a message and apologize personally. But,
I'm sure it'll get to him.
And well, yeah, exactly. I'll get through about 10 personal assistants, and then it might reach some inbox somewhere there, but I doubt it. But Dominic Thiem, back to this guy. I'm a little bit worried for him, to be honest, because we all know his main tournament is the French Open, or it used to be. It might not be anymore. He might be now a hardcourt player, but I'm a bit worried for him entering this tournament, considering he's in I wouldn't even say even close to his top level of tennis at the moment. And I think a lot of people could beat him. I think if he meets someone like a Fokina, a Norrie,
Casper Ruud or something.
Casper Ruud, definitely. Karatsev, definitely.
Karatsev, your guy. Man, you guys' interview with Karatsev right before the Australian Open is so mint. I don't know how many views it has yet, but it's preposterous that it doesn't have like 50,000 views. Like,
mate, I know.
It's insane. Like, that is so cool. Like, I mean, I'm sure you would say that you didn't expect him to get to the semifinals of that tournament, but like, now he's just like a household name, top 20 guy.
Yeah, and looks incredible when he when he's playing his best tennis on the court. I don't think there's anyone who can stop him, which is the crazy thing.
I put money on him to beat Djokovic in Serbia. I won like halfway through the first set because I was like, Djokovic isn't playing his best and Karatsev is. And at that point, Karatsev is old enough and he has enough experience that he's not just going to let Djokovic mentally break him. Like you always see it with Tsitsipas and Zverev now. It's like they're clearly having the better game on the day. Yes. Then like Nadal or Djokovic will like make them beat themselves and then they'll just like win. But like Karatsev is, because he's got that experience, he has that part of his game too, where he's obviously got the shots, but he's got like just kind of the mental stamina to roll with these guys, which is cool.
He's do or die, that guy. It doesn't matter if he loses, it seems. He will just go for it 100% every shot, and if he misses, then he's going out. He's having a great time. He's earning so much money now from every tournament.
Gosh, yeah, it's crazy. Like when he was playing Djokovic in Serbia, it was like he said it was like the craziest. I'm sure Djokovic has never had a match where he's converted less percentage of break points. Like he had like 24 points that he didn't convert. And Karatsev, I'm sure you watched it, he was just like, he would play a tentative point to get him break point down, and then he would just go lights out and like hit a winner off the line. Like every time. It was unbelievable.
That's why he's my favorite player this year for sure. just to watch, just because when he starts putting it together, there's just, for me, there's no one who can stop him. I think obviously someone like Riley Opelka can serve him off the court, but if he gets into a rally and he's hitting the ball clean, it's scary off both wings as well. It's not, I don't think there's anyone. Sinner, you saw him, he bageled Sinner in the first set. Sinner didn't know what to hit him until he finally came back into it. When Karatsev's level drops, you have to go at him because he's a front foot player and he doesn't like playing on that back foot. And if you start dictating the rallies, he doesn't like it. And that's when he starts losing. And you saw Sinner, he really came out after the rain delay and put it on him really, really tough. So well played to him, but he's out now as well.
Yeah, I love Karatsev's backhand up the line. So it's very Djokovic-esque, right? Like, but it's almost like more compact, and it's just like it's kind of like there's less margin in it. It's more flat. I think it's flatter than Djokovic's, which is why I could probably break down more easily. But it's just so sweet when he hits it. Like it's like a knockout punch. It's just it's just pink.
Yeah, I like the cross court, the crafty angled short backhand that he whips like just inside the service. Crazy.
Would you say it's almost like a Murray kind of form to it as well? It's like pretty straight up and down. But like,
I know what you mean. He would make these sort of in the middle of a big powerful rally, suddenly just whips this little crafty one inside the service box, and it has him like sprinting to the angle, and then he just opens the court and he comes in, boom, just puts him. Normally a drive volley. He doesn't do normal volleys.
Yeah, he just takes it. He's like, we got to end this now. Like, I need to get out of this rally.
Exactly. Another guy I want to speak to you about because I'm very concerned about this guy. It's one of JG's absolute favorites, but he's on a 4-match losing skid at the moment, and it's not like him on clay. It's Diego Schwartzman. And something this year, he was in the ATP finals at the back end of last year. He had an incredible run on both surfaces, hard and clay, and now a shadow of his former self, it seems.
Yeah. One thing I've realized, and you know, because I don't have that much experience, I don't have any experience playing on the pro tour or like even like coaching on it. But my friend Temba McCurdy, he's coached pros for a while, and he says, like, you know, you look at a guy like Schwartzman who's lost 4 in a row. It could be, or a team who's not having his best form. It could be that they're struggling in a rut, or it could just be that they lost 4 matches, you know, back to back to back to top players in the world. And you can just come up against the guy when you don't have your best and they're playing really good, and then you just lose. And it doesn't always have to mean as much as it might look. Like, it doesn't, you know, maybe for a guy like Nadal, if he's losing the first round to like nobody's, that's weird. But like,
yeah.
You know, even like Djokovic, I don't think it's going to mean that much when he gets to the French Open that he's lost to like Karatsev, Dan Evans, you know, Nadal. Who else did he lose to? It won't matter. And Schwartzman, obviously, I think he's just come up against good players. He doesn't have those big weapons, so he has to play like a super good match to win them anyways. And that's, you know, he's done so well, in my opinion, to get to be like the consistent top 10, top 15 guy where he is now. But I don't know. If he goes out first round at the French Open, it's like that's a bit of a shock. Like, that's a horrible clay season for him. But
I can see it happening though. That's the thing. If he comes up against a power hitter, which seems to be like you've alluded to there, and people he's lost to, Karatsev, Felix Auger-Aliassime, Gasquet is his latest defeat as well. Casper Ruud was one of his other ones. Carreño Busta. There's sort of Sebastian Corda was on apologies. Corda was on hardcore. I would let him off that one.
Yeah. To me, like, I don't know, a guy like Schwartzman, the fact that he even like wins so many matches is always kind of mind-blowing to me. I just don't understand how you can be that small and get that done.
It's amazing.
It's just crazy. Like when he beat Nadal last year at Rome, I was like, couldn't believe my eyes.
It gives hope, I think, to every other tennis player out there who thinks when they're growing up and then they're playing tennis and they're playing against these massive like kids who are massive servers. Yeah, you can do it as well. Look, this guy's top 10, top at 9 or something in the world.
Yeah.
So if he can do it, I think anyone. It's all about consistency, and that's the name of his game, is consistency. If he's playing consistently well, but he needs the opposition to not be playing fully well for the whole match, because his level stays like that, whereas their level tends to go up, down, if they're having more downs than they are up, Schwartzman's got you.
Yeah, totally. But that's what I kind of mean. It's like if he just comes up against hot players, right, who are playing well, and he doesn't have his best game, it's not like the GOATs where like if they don't have their best game, they're still probably gonna win. Like if he doesn't have his best game, he's probably not gonna win. So to me, it's like it's such a crazy amount of focus that he needs to have to like keep hitting those quality shots, keeping balls deep, like hitting his backhands above his head. Like that's just so hard to do consistently. And
crazy. Yeah. Like when you got these big kick shots off people like Rafa that leaps up. I don't know how he gets like to some of these serves off people like Opelka or people like that who he has to play. It's crazy. How does he get the ball back?
I don't know. It is wild. It is absolutely crazy.
Genius. I just want to get your love before we go, or before I let you go. Just want to get your take on obviously the 2 tournaments in the ATP that are going on at the moment. We've got a final tomorrow. We've got Casper Ruud versus one of your guys, Denis Shapovalov.
That's right.
Well done. He's looking good on the clay, Shapo, these days.
Yeah, he's had a bad year, but he let it go against Nadal. He almost took him out in Rome, right? So that was I only tuned in at the very end of that match, and it was a tiebreaker and it was kind of a toss up, but I didn't realize that he was serving for the match, I think twice before that.
I know.
Shaky.
I know.
So that shows how good his level is though, right? Because Nadal obviously was playing pretty good in that match and he was bettering him for the most of that match. So he's getting his form back. He's streaky player, as we all know, but when you're just comparing the top level of Casper Ruud to the top level of Shapovalov, I think Shapovalov is quite a bit higher. But Casper Ruud, I saw his best level, I think, in Rome for a few matches there, and that was pretty good. So
very good.
We'll see. That's a must watch if you're a tennis fan for sure.
Oh, for sure, and it's Shapovalov is the underdog in that. If in case anybody's wanting to
the betting underdog,
the betting underdog.
I might have to back him there. I have to test the market.
Why not? The other match, obviously, we've got Cam Norrie 1 set all at the moment with Anders Rinderknech from France, the young Frenchman. He's had a great tournament, knocked out Sinner.
Awesome.
Hopefully, Norrie manages to get that done, continues his amazing clay court form, and gets to another clay court final. He lost the last one to Ramos. The semi-final that he's going to be playing tomorrow is Lorenzo Musetti is playing Stefanos Tsitsipas again, but this time on clay.
That is just such a beautiful matchup. That has got to get the juices flowing if you're a tennis fan. Like Musetti versus Tsitsipas, just if that's the future of tennis, it's somehow it's like with they always talked about the big baseline hitters and grinders, and tennis is going to become like a baseline and smashing fest. It's like, well, if we got guys like Musetti, Tsitsipas in the mix for now, like it's almost like more crafty than it's been the last few years with like Murray and Nishikori and guys like that. Not saying that they're bad, but I just love the styles of Musetti and Tsitsipas, the one-handed backhands, and I think whoever is winning that match is probably winning the tournament. But
Musetti, a very large underdog in that matchup, just so everyone knows. I think that's fair, though. Tsitsipas looked amazing this year.
Tsitsipas could do. I think I'm very interested for the French Open. I think Tsitsipas has a real shot this year.
Yep.
Like I wouldn't give him. He'd obviously be the underdog versus Djokovic or Nadal, but he could beat both them on that surface. I think in 5 sets.
He came very close to beating Nadal in Barcelona. He actually came back from 2 sets down to beat him in Australia. He nearly came back from 2 sets down to beat Djokovic, but got injured in the 5th.
So he's right there. It's mental toughness now. That's all it is. It's belief. It's just like getting it done, and it'll be interesting. It'll be another test.
Maybe keep his dad away from the sidelines.
I feel like that's got to change at some point. Like it's just like I think his dad's a great guy. Like I love the family, but it's like it's got to be weird to have that in your box.
Yeah, it definitely is, mate. Well, how do you reckon that one's going to go? Who's your winner? So who's your winner for Geneva? Your winner for Leon? Let's hear the
winner for Geneva. Shapovalov, going with him. He's like the altitude. It's up high in Switzerland. The ball flies. If he's got there, he's already playing well. So I think he'll get it done. And I just think he's got more firepower. You're the same.
I had it pre-tournament. I picked Shapovalov to win the tournament. So
that's looking pretty good.
I'm hoping I can finally get a prediction right. I've had so many wrong over the past few months. So this is going to be hopefully put me in good stead for the French Open and for the
That's
other
good
tournament.
stuff. Yeah, I'm taking Tsitsipas. Like I don't know how you bet against him from here on out.
Yeah, I think
Wonder what the out.
Go on.
Yeah, I wonder what the outright would be for him to win the tournament at this point. It probably wouldn't be that high.
Terrible. Yeah. I mean, the last time we played Musetti, I think he just wanted to school him. When Musetti looked great in, where was it? Acapulco.
I think it was Acapulco, yeah.
Yeah, and he just came on court and just absolutely blitzed him in 2 sets.
Yeah,
I think he breadsticked him in one of them. So
yeah,
not good.
Yeah.
You could see the same again, I think, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I think it could be quick. It could be a battle, but I think Tsitsipas, definitely. I'm backing him.
Indeed, mate. Well, anyway, I don't want to keep you any longer. I really appreciate you coming on, filling in for JG while he's
filling in for JG. Where is he? Slacking?
Off partying as always. You know what he's like. Oh, he can't, these youngsters these days.
That's good stuff, man.
I know,
well,
mate.
Hopefully, let's chat maybe during the French Open, and I'll
Definitely.
be looking forward to your content. I love your live streams, so keep
Cheers,
up the good work, guys, on the Game to Love. We love the Slice loves the Game to Love.
Mate, indeed. And we love the Slice Tennis. If you haven't checked out the Slice Tennis, go and type it into YouTube. We'll pop a link in the description below. Some amazing stuff. Always finger on the pulse with Steve from Slice Tennis. Appreciate
it, man. Thanks.
See you later. Great to have Stephen from the Slice Tennis on. As I said before, go check out his channel. It's a really good stuff on there. The link will be in the description below. Make sure you join myself, possibly JG as well. Tomorrow, we'll try and cover some matches. Just keep your eye on the Discord. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Hit the bell to get those notifications, though. So when we go live, I'll try my best to cover Tsitsipas versus Musetti tomorrow. I think that one is going to be a barn burner. For now, it's over and out.